Ketty, thanks so much for taking the time and sitting down with me. Much appreciated. You're in the business of seed applied technologies. In a nutshell, can you explain what seed applied technologies are?
Well, it's not easy to bring up in a nutshell because it can be quite different. But as a machine engineering company, for us, it's a way of making your investment stay onto the seed. But the goals can be you applicate and add value to the seed, basically.
By gluing other ingredients to the seed?
Well, it can be basically anything from a simple film coat. Sometimes you add micro nutrients if you lack that in the soil, or other benefits that you need to get a strong root and a quick germination. It can also be to prevent fungicide attack or insects to harm your plant. But also other benefits, for example, to make it easier to plant. Maybe you need to add some weight to it so the wind doesn't take your seed away, or some colorant to scare birds off. So the product to put on the seed can vary a lot depending on our client's needs. So for our sake, it's always a challenge to find a way to work with all these products and all range of seed.
But obviously, you're not the only one that is making the products that you're producing. How do you make sure your products stand out from the competition?
Honestly, we have been in the business of seed treatment equipment and that only for 60 years now, in 2020. And we don't focus on the competition at all. We only focus on the client. And their needs are different from each other, like any company, but how you want your product to stand out and their needs is where we satisfy them. And that can be for vegetable seeds. They want to have it pelletized very often. And lately, this week, where we attend this ESA conference, we are launching a new dryer as well. So after 50 years with treaters, we're also launching our first dryer on the market. And that is due to these pelletizing needs increasing on the market. We are also launching a build-up material product, which is totally organic. And of course, since we are an equipment manufacturer, you only add water. We like that for our dosage system to keep it nice and clean.
Okay.
So, and also it's a very strong product, so you can use it in planting machines, but there is no polymers in it. So it's very good for the environment.
Okay. You mentioned environment. How are the products, and of course the seed applied technologies, how are they helping health, environment, safety?
At Norogard, we have been working with this from the beginning, but 60 years ago, you didn't call it environmental work. It was because our company was founded by a blacksmith, and he liked to keep the money in the pocket.
Okay.
So, but today we realize that it's very, very much an environmental work because we build our equipment very small with a small footprint, and that saves us material. We don't need as much steel as a huge machine. But still we need to have a high capacity. We make sure that it's low on electricity needs and also makes us very competitive on mobile trucks, for example, mobile seed treatment, because you need a low use of electrician. And then we make sure that it's easy to clean. You use very little water.
Sure.
So you don't get water contaminated. You don't have this rest product. And it's also easier for the operator safety and the working environment. And for us, it's also a secondary interest is that if it's easy to clean, it's more likely being done. And then you have a better result in the application quality. So the environmental thought and idea goes through all of our engineering. and it both saves us money and the clients all the way.
Mm-mm.
So environmental work is also a money issue, and you don't lose anything from it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, sure. You're in the business of crop protection products, which is regularly under fire for threats to the environment. But how do the product and how does this part of the sector provide benefit to the consumers?
Everybody in this industry is working on doing as good as we can. But the fact is that the population is increasing, but the acres are not. And even though sometimes we hear that there is a demand for everyone to be a vegetarian, I mean, we still have to grow it. So there is an even bigger issue to increase the harvest. And that is where it's helping, really. And as a Swede, I also often get in this discussion also, and I say that it's, as a Swedish person, we have food on the table, but that's a benefit not all people in the world are
definitely
having. So, and also I think maybe we're a bit spoiled. We have forgotten how it was before we had these benefits of seed treatments, and I think also in the industry now, there is a huge buzz about the developments we have. For example, microorganisms also applied to the seed. There is a lot of solutions that we can develop further to help. But still, we need to have food on the table. It's not a solution to just take away options. You have to supply with another option because we have to eat. But then, for example, for developing, we are launching this build-up material with no polymers, and that's a step in the proper direction.
Yeah, it's great. You mentioned not everybody has enough food on the table. I know there's obviously less developed countries. Is Norogard active in those countries as well? Do you sell your machines there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We ship to Africa, Asia, pretty much all countries worldwide, and have been doing for many years.
So, Ketty, you mentioned Africa. How come you're shipping equipment from Europe all the way to Africa and other continents?
Well, we have a global market, and the reason for that is that it's a bit of rocket science to have seed applied technology.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious.
Well, we are down on dosage rates for a half deciliter of liquid to 100 liters of seed.
100?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's how you measure the volume weight. And for example, with barley, that is an area of 170 square meters.
Just with that?
Yes, with a half deciliter of liquid.
Amazing.
Which means you also have to have it applied evenly on every seed. So it is a little bit of rocket science, and that is why you order equipment from Europe or from Sweden, because you need the precision. And also for us, it's very important to have this accurate dosing system, because then you don't have to apply a lot of water, and you don't have the waste product in the machine or for cleaning. And compared to spraying the fields, it's very efficient to do a seed application. Yeah.
So these data that you're providing are absolutely amazing, and I can only hope that decision makers who are deciding on crop protection products know more about these data.
Yeah.
I hope that the outreach is really going in that direction.
Yeah.
Do you support the outreach? Do you help with the outreach towards politicians?
No, we haven't been active in that area. Usually we're basically focusing on our clients and their needs.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of developments on the market right now, and definitely in pelletizing.
Yeah.
And also we are a company that provide, what should I say, our clients are often independent companies that want to stay independent. And we are a company that is easy and flexible and can apply to those needs.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Ketty.
Thank you.